Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Core bond yields were mainly oriented upwardly. Analysis http ntvforex.com News ID 20CE028272026 4200 AM. Markets overall sentiment remained upbeat once more yesterday, thanks to Germany extending the wage support program until the end of next year and strong U.S. durable goods orders. Core bond yields were mainly oriented upwardly. However, comments from U.S. Chief of Staff Meadows suggesting a new fiscal boost isn't going to happen before end of September, triggered an intraday reversal. The move was at least partially technically inspired too, with core bond yields earlier testing but failing to push through first resistance levels. Germany 10y 0.40%, US 10y 0.70%, August highs. Oil prices retracing some of the previous production outage-driven gains also weighed on yield's upward momentum. The U.S. curve bear steepened with yields advancing 2 bps at the long end. German yields largely ignored comments from hawkish ECB member Schnabel, who said that the pandemic might offset some of negative rates' beneficial effects. Yields rose 1.2 bps 2-year to 2.6 bps 30-year. The dollar held up well initially. The reversal in core bond yields however forced the greenback back in the defensive. USD JPY once again gave up gains above the well-known 106. Euro USD eventually closed only slightly lower, from 1.1835 to 1.183. That's despite a heavy trading euro, as was visible in Euro JPY capture of 126 failed, and especially Euro GBP. The latter slipped from 0.90 to 0.895, thereby hitting key support lower bound of triangle consolidation pattern. Asian sentiment is mixed ahead of a key speech by Fed Chair Powell. Geopolitical tensions over China performing military actions in the South China Sea dampen the mood. South Korea underperforms after the BOC cut growth forecasts. Core bonds trade flat. The yuan trades strong. USD CNY broke below 6.90 yesterday, with the pair retaining losses today 6.88 despite rising tensions. Euro USD is going nowhere in the 1.183 area, as is USD 106 Japanese yen. With Fed Chair Powell's speech at the virtual Jackson Hole Symposium due later today, U.S. jobless claims are of secondary importance. Powell is expected to announce a form of average inflation targeting by formally embracing the symmetrical inflation objective. The recent rise in U.S. yields, driven by increasing inflation expectations, suggests markets are at least preparing for this new commitment. At the same time, an overall dovish Powell will probably anchor real yields at historically low levels. US 10y real yield at 1.05% currently. This ongoing divergence is likely to hold nominal U.S. yields more or less in check, maybe slightly tilted to the downside. The 10y yield's test of the upper bound of the sideways trading range failed yesterday, making room for some losses from a technical perspective. Euro USD is trapped in an upward trending consolidating triangle pattern with the lower bound well protected. Dollar gains are difficult when a soft Fed is set to keep rates low for a long time while striving for a period of higher inflation. The lower bound 92.52 in DXY might be heavily tested. After yesterday's good run, we think sterling gains are trickier from here. Euro GBP is at key support levels and is now watching Governor Bailey's speech tomorrow for further impetus. Retaining the possibility of negative rates could trigger a technical correction lower in sterling. NBSP News headlines: The Bank of Korea kept its policy rate unchanged at 0.50%. The central bank downgraded the 2020 growth forecast from 0.2% in May to 1.3%, with uncertainties being very high amid the rising number of COVID-19 cases and national floods. The BOC simultaneously raised inflation projections because of supply-side effects. Governor Lee indicated room to cut rates further while showing readiness to engage to bond buying should yields become volatile. The Korean won barely moved, trading around USD KRW 1,185. The U.S. Department of Commerce enforced visa restrictions on several Chinese companies because of their support to reclaim and militarize disputed outposts in the South China Sea. Tensions escalated with China launching missiles into those same disputed waters. A U.S. Navy Vice Admiral said the U.S. stands ready to respond to the muscle flexing, but as long as they're doing it in accordance with international law and norms, they have every right to do so. Download the full Sunrise Market Commentary. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://m.me/mt5.expert.advisors.